Yo, what's up YouTube? We're doing a comparison video of the only graded slab, right? We're not going to use this one in specifically, but you know, this one that's broken, I emailed them and I basically said, look, I received a cracked slab with some kind of damage on it, missing. They said send it back and we replace it, no problem. So that's alright. You know, the cases are really heavy, they're weighted. I don't know how big of a damage this may be when the ultrasonic welder has gone down and maybe like pressed it, and then like it might just been a bit of a weak bit of plastic that's just flew off. But this will get sorted anyway. It's a nice card, you know, it is a mint card, yeah, so it's sick. You know, what did they get? A 9 on the surface, you know, something they've seen, probably a dot or something. Yeah, maybe a dot, indent, scratch, something. These cards weren't perfect anyway, I did buy them off someone else. But yeah, okay, we're going to grab a slab. So we're going to grab the chatot, as the chatot is sick, like the colours on this card. This one's a 9. The only 9 out of 8 graded, which hitting 7, what was it, 7 out of 8, yeah. So we got the Magnemite powered scales, yeah, right. Flip the lid, flip the lid, yeah, sick, woohoo! Right, what are these weighing? Right, you can't see the, oh, you can, you can, yeah. I'll move the camera. So I just want to see what this weighs. This weighs 89.59 grams. So this would be the next tier up in shipping these. Probably around $2.96 maybe £3. Just, yeah, maybe £3 to ship one of these, but they're really heavy. Like, they're really thick. You know, they're thick, but you know, this is a unique case. You know, it's something that they've designed themselves, right? Their label has obviously been designed themselves, so they've designed this stuff themselves, and it's not like a copy, you know. So I know there's a lot of like grading companies or whatever that have made like copies. It's like 89.57, right? So 89.57. So let me just grab a PSA Growlithe, right? So yeah, you could say that it being heavy is a problem when you're shipping many of them, you know. But what do you want? Do you want durability? Do you want to drop it and it not break, or drop it and chip? Because I've dropped a PSA slab before and it's cracked. So you know, like, and that's not from very high. So as you can see, we're talking about double the thickness of the card, right? So I mean, PSA slabs are really light. Don't get me wrong; they're all right to like move around, I suppose. PSA slab weighs 42 gram, including the card. So obviously we don't know what the card weighs. The Watsy card maybe weigh, I don't know, maybe 0.10 gram heavier than a 2008 one. I can't guarantee that, but you're talking 44 for a PSA slab, and then you're talking 89.58 for only graded. So imagine that. This weighs double the weight of a normal PSA slab. So 2 PSA slabs. Alright, so let's just grab another one. Let's grab another one. Let's just try and grab a non-hollow. We've got a non-hollow here. Alright, that's a hollow. Hold on. Alright, there's a non-hollow. Perfect. Alright. Got non-hollow. So this is a Blastoise, which is a 7. Alright. PSA and their shady grading, yeah. Well, not right now, like, you know, their shady grading tactics on the Growlithe. So 2 of these PSA cards is, alright, you can't see that, I'm looking at it. So 2 PSA cards is clearly thicker, right? But 2 PSA cards should technically weigh 88 gram, yeah? Right? Scales just went off. We reset them. Right? So 2 PSA cards, weights 83.27 gram, right? So for the people that are watching, this is a very, very heavy case. A very heavy. Very, very heavy. Super thick. You know, as you can tell, there's no flat. You can't bend that. You can't bend it. But, you know, PSA slabs, you see how it even made that sound? Yeah? They're very flexy, yeah? These are very, very flexy cases. You can see the flex in the case already just by that slight little bend, you see? Right? Very, very flexy. These aren't very tough, you know. They're not very tough, to be fair. Now, the Beckett slab. Hold on, bear with me. Right, we didn't prepare for the video. The Beckett slab. Right. So what did the Beckett slab weigh? 37 gram, yeah, something like that. So here's something else I'm going to show you. So a Beckett slab is weighing 72.05. So remember when I got this PSA slab or a PSA slab and I was like, wow. Bearing in mind this card's going to be a little bit heavier due to not having the RAN in a Pokemon. So, I mean, it's not a 100% accurate comparison as I don't have a Beckett slab as a Pokemon card. But as you can see, this is the difference between an only graded card in width. So this is about, kind of don't need to do the CGC slab because everyone knows, like, I'll do a comparison on the size, but CGC is actually in between Beckett and PSA, for anyone that don't know. So the top case is the only graded card, and you can see the case is larger than a PSA Beckett, larger than a Beckett case, right? And when I got this, I thought this was thick. Yeah, I thought this was thick and this was heavy. Now, this obviously is a lot heavier, right? And a lot, you know, this is a very heavy case. Like, if you've never held a Beckett case, when I got this case, I was like, well, but this is a very, very heavy, like with the one that Kenny sent me, and then this one, you know, is very heavy, and then a PSA card is very light. Problem with PSA stuff, people say PSA cards don't move. Well, they do. PSA cards move. Look, watch this. You see this line? Right? Now you see the line? See the gap? See the gap, yeah? You tap it back down. It does move. So for anyone who says that, oh, the card moves in the case. The card moves in a PSA case also. Yeah? So for when someone says, like, you see the gap at the top, and you see the gap disappear, you see the gap at the top, you see the gap disappear. Yeah? The card moves in the case. So for people who say, oh, well, PSA cards don't move in the case, they do. Yeah? Right? So, you know, this, to move this, you have to whack it hard. Yeah? So obviously I do this behind the camera, yeah, and it didn't even move that time, and that's me whacking it. This one's tight in there, yeah. Obviously it's not all the way centered, but I don't care about that. The card's in the case, it's graded, it's a good example. You know, it's a real fit case. So regardless of like PSA's flexy, you know, it feels real cheap. It's like it is. The PSA slab is a cheap slab. You know, it is a very cheap slab. I mean, yeah, it's thin and it's not like thick, and it's alright for shipping across sea as it's lightweight. You know, heavy slabs are gonna be like costly on postage, you know, but it's durability, you know, it's the kind of durability, and obviously space, as in space, and you want to store in so many cards. Obviously, you would be able to store less of the heavier slabs in a shorter space. So if you wanted to store, for example, 100 cards in a box of a PSA slab and 100 cards fit, you know, with the double speed, or roughly one and a half, maybe, is that, what's that, 1.5 maybe of the 2 PSA slabs to an only graded, you probably would get maybe 60 in the box. But then again, storage wise, yeah, a thick case might be an issue, but dropping them and then long term durability, you know, it's beating the PSA case, right? So, or the Beckett slab. So as you can see, it is right, it is taller than the PSA slab, yeah, and it was taller than the Beckett, as the Beckett is obviously a smaller case anyway, so compared to a PSA. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry, can't see it. Yeah. So there you see. Oh wait. Yeah, you know the difference. You can just do it like this. Probably be easier. So that's a PSA versus a Beckett. So a Beckett is smaller. So this only graded case is bigger than. You know. I think this is probably the most heaviest case I've ever felt. You know, there's nothing heavier than this. And then the CGC case, for anyone that's just inquiring, is it, what's the size difference? So, the size difference between these two cards is, wait, let's make sure I'm going to try and hold this. It's a little bit taller than a CGC case, yeah? And then a CGC case is roughly, you know, I'd say just over half thicker, like 1.5 maybe, yeah. You know, obviously it's got a little bit of a plastic sleeve on it, so, you know, don't really worry about that. Don't really add too much of a difference to the card. But, yeah, you know, I think it's a good case. It's heavy, yeah, it's robust. If you knock it over, I think might be hard to display these in the terms of PSA has a PSA stand. CGC cards don't fit in the PSA stand, but Tree Frog cards fit in the PSA stand, as it's like pretty much similar to a PSA, pretty much the same as PSA, just without the indentation on the bottom of the slab, right? Aha! We found the card from the last video. I just found them. Here they are. You know, the last video. This is the problem, yeah? Here's where the miscase cards. Right? You know, I don't really want some of this too. I should do a video on it. But, yeah, there's the miscase cards from last time. And we got a sick case. This is a sick case. If anyone is watching this and you maybe even see one of these cheap on eBay, go ahead and just pick one up if you want it for a case comparison. And you'll know that it's a slab. It's a robust slab. Obviously, I'll have to guide and see how much it is to actually ship them as a single item in a bubble mailer, and then get a rough cost. But obviously, the PSAs are cheaper to ship. The only graded cards are going to be a little bit heavier, so they're going to be a little premium on the postage. But then again, you can just add an extra pound onto the price. So, is it really bad? It isn't. You know, it isn't. So, that's my review of the case. It's a good case. You know, it's been made by somebody who has designed it themselves. It's got their own label that's designed. It's like an original concept, but I could see these growing as well. I could see these growing. I think there'll be 3 people that may be like a top of the chain with these grading cards. I think there'll be 3 companies. Whoever survives this year, or whoever survives till the end of like 2022, will definitely be a company that stays around for many more years. Yeah, I think it's, if you can survive a full year, you know, and you're probably going to be around for a while. But I reckon there will be a few grading companies. I mean, like I said, I did say in a video before that these probably will be the Beckett of UK, right? Just because Beckett has that little lower standard, right? So for anyone that says, Right, so this is basically, this was graded in 2010 when Beckett had been around a few years. And you can see that this card has like a 9.5, and it says the centering, or the edges is 9.5. Now, the edges is clearly 9.5. So this is a new company. Bearing in mind, these cards aren't printed 100%. Especially the 2008s. These were a bad time for Pokemon. And you know, you got edges 9.5. Now if you look at the edges, maybe there might be a little bit of whitening from a cut. Maybe that's what I was missing. You know, maybe a little bit at the bottom there. Right. And flip it over. Yeah. Looks alright. You know, probably just a couple marks here and there. Well, that's it. Yeah. So whose standard's better? I'd say only graded standards better there, and these are a new company. I mean, bearing in mind the grades of 6 and a 5 and a 4, and you know, these grades in between these, it's going to be a different opinion on a different person. So don't always take that as an example. I sent like 10 gem mint cards, or what, 8 like mint cards. You know, I said that most of them would be 10s. The one that I didn't say that would have been a 9, maybe a 9.5. Got a 10, and then this one got a 9. So I was out of my estimate on one card. That was it. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.